we cut across to more breaking news coming in. Intel sources have just stated that Punjab gangster Sukha Duneke has been shot dead in Canada. This is big breaking news coming in, as Punjabi gangster Sukha Duneke has been shot dead in Canada. We are picking up these details from our sources, Intel sources to be precise, where they have stated that Punjab gangster Sukha Duneke has been shot dead in Canada. We are yet to get the specifics of it, under what circumstances did this happen and who is responsible so far, how did the sequence of events turn out. But this is the latest that we are just picking up. Punjabi gangster Sukha Duneke, who has been shot dead in Canada. Quickly cutting across to Amandeep, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Amandeep, details from you on this first up.
Well, absolutely, Swesha. This is another major development and, in fact, another major incident in Canada. Sukha Duneke, who was shot dead in Winnipeg. This is the initial information we have received from the intelligence sources, and, in fact, it has been confirmed that he has been shot dead by two assailants who came in a black car and, in fact, pumped multiple bullets in Sukha, that resulting Sukha Duneke dead on the spot. And, in fact, Sukha Duneke was among the top list of the gangsters and the terrorists, which has been shared by the Indian government with the Canadian government, and, in fact, seeking the extradition. In 2017, Sukha Duneke has fled from India based on the forged documents and, in fact, started staying in Canada. And even from Canada, he was running his own nexus of the gangsters here in Punjab, just because he was engaged with the Davinder Bambiha gang in Punjab, and he was the prominent gang member of Davinder Bambiha gang, and having a very confrontational rivalry with the Lawrence Bishnoi gang as well. So Sukha Duneke is another person, another key gangster who was operating his gang from Canada, and, in fact, he has been shot dead, in fact, on Wednesday night by two armed men who came in a black car in Winnipeg. And this incident reported in Winnipeg, and, in fact, this is the initial information that we have received. After Hardeep Singh Nijjar, this is the second killing of the gangster who was residing in Canada, who was operating his gangs from Canada. And, in fact, this the initial investigation may suggest that this might be the case of another gang rivalry. The way he has been shot dead and the way around 15 to 20 bullets have been pumped into his body, it clearly reveals that it would be the case of rivalry. And, in fact, another rival gang must have executed his killing on Canadian soil in Winnipeg also. So this is very initial information, but yes, it has been confirmed. Sukha Duneke has been shot dead. And, in fact, in Winnipeg, around 15 to 20 bullets have been pumped into his body. Two assailants came in a black car and shot Sukha Duneke and fled from the spot. So this is the initial information. But Sukha Duneke was among those gangsters and the terrorist list which has been shared by the Indian government with Canadian government, which are the threat to the Indian side. And that is the reason. And even the Punjab is having a long-lasting record of Sukha Duneke, just because he was involved in multiple cases of extortion, of gang rivalry wars, gang wars, and, in fact, of murders, dacoities, and even certain other activities also, which are related to the hardcore, giving the hardcore criminal sense. And Sukha Duneke was engaged to Davinder Bambiha gang. Davinder Bambiha gang is a rival gang of Lawrence Bishnoi gang. So it might be the case of gang rivalry. It might be the case just because the Lawrence Bishnoi gang member Goldie Barad is also in Canada, and Sukha Duneke is also in Canada. Arsh Dalla, who's a declared terrorist, he's also in Canada. They all are in Canada, and, in fact, they all are the listed gangsters and terrorists,
Right,
which are regarding which the information has been provided to the Canadian government also, that they are the threat to the society, even to India, even to Canada as well. So this is another major development and another major incident on Canadian soil. After Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who has
right.
been shot dead in the month of June outside the Gurdwara in Surrey, so now Sukha Duneke, a gangster involved into several crimes and the several cases, has been shot dead in Winnipeg. Yes, Swisha.
Amandeep, Amandeep, I also want you to put this development in context of not just the operation that the Punjab police is conducting, that is ongoing, where they are in a bid to catch close aides of Goldie Brar, and this is continuing in Punjab, but also in terms of the diplomatic face-off with Canada, where they go on to support the likes of Niger, and the complete face-off that has happened between the foreign affairs ministries of the respective countries, between India and Canada. So in that sense, how are these developments being viewed?
Well, Swesha, this is after the statement of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. These Khalistani elements and the gangsters, they are getting the open hand to operate their nexus from the soil of Canada. And in fact, when Justin Trudeau has blamed the Indian government to carry out the execution of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, that was a major chunk. Just because from the day of killing Hardeep Singh Nijjar, family members and pro-Khalistani elements are claiming that Indian agencies have executed the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar just because he was involved into the pro-Khalistani activities, and he was among the top list of the pro-Khalistani elements who were operating their terror activities from the soil of Canada. But this is actually a very push and motivated booster to the gangsters and pro-Khalistani elements sitting in Canada. And in fact, India is not tolerating any kind of activity or any kind of support or facilitation by Canada to these elements just because they are openly opening the wage of war against India. Demand of Khalistan is not legal, and they are listed hardcore terrorists and criminals who are sitting in Canada, getting the free run in Canada, and in fact getting the citizenship, political asylums in Canada. And Indian side has taken up this issue with the Canadian government for several times. But the result is that finally Justin Trudeau has came up and in fact questioned the Indian government and accused the Indian government. And this is providing them a big space to these terrorists and the gangsters in Canada. And in fact, this is also pushing them to involve into more activities of pro-Khalistani activities, in fact. So this is a morale boost in the statement, resulting the boosting the morale of these gangsters and the Khalistani terrorists. But India is not tolerating. So somewhere down the line, due to this Khalistani and gangster elements who are sitting in Canada, there are certain difference between the India diplomats and the Canadian diplomats. And that is the reason Trudeau, it was not the first time that Indian government has taken up the issue with Justin Trudeau. In 2018, Justin Trudeau visited Punjab. He visited Golden Temple. He paid obeisance in Golden Temple. Then Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh has clearly informed and handed over a list of the criminals and the gangsters and the terrorists that who were sitting in Canada and operating their gangs and terror activities from the soil of Canada. Then Justin Trudeau has raised the objection that why a state chief minister is providing him that list, why he was not following the channel of Ministry of External Affairs or the diplomatic channel. But Captain was quite concerned, and that is the reason he has taken up the issue with Justin Trudeau. And Justin Trudeau, since 2018 and even before that, was aware about the pro-Khalistani activities and these elements who were sitting in Canada and carried out certain kind of terrorist activities in Punjab, tried to create the unrest. So Justin Trudeau, despite knowing all these things, he was accusing the Indian government for the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a very actively involved into Khalistani activities.
Yes.
This is big surprise. But yes, this has created some difference between India and Canada, Swesha. Yes.
But I once again want to refer to that statement as was the advisory that was issued by India to all the Indian nationals and students in Canada, where our position is amply clear, and to very clearly word it as it was quoted that these are anti-India activities, politically condoned hate crimes and criminal violence in Canada that India is looking into, and we strongly condemn. And this, of course, is stated from the advisory that was sent out to Indian nationals and students in Canada. But my point to you is, Amandeep, that India is very serious in its position when it comes to such crimes, and all these gangsters, these anti-India elements who are getting a safe haven to function in Canada. Here is the killing of another gangster that is being reported, and we are going to go all out as far as it comes to eliminating terrorists or such violent activities. We've also seen how Justin Trudeau tried to gain face with other nations and really try to get them on their side, but he was only snubbed on that front. And India's resolve against any activity or any terrorist is very, very clear.
Well, absolutely, absolutely, Swisha. The stand of India is very clear. India is not tolerating any kind of activity done by these terrorists against the Indian community in the Canada itself or in India as well. And in fact, it will always remain on the top list of the Indian intel agencies and the investigating agencies that these are the faces that are creating trouble in India while sitting in the other countries as well. And in fact, despite knowing all these things, Justin Trudeau is coming up and in fact facilitating these kind of elements. And now he was seeking the support from the Five Eye intelligence and other countries also. But no one is ready to back Justin Trudeau regarding these terrorist activities, just because these elements are sitting in the different countries. These elements are getting the political asylum on the basis that we are the Sikhs, we are having threat in Punjab, and that is the reason we cannot stay for a longer in Punjab. And in fact, Swisha, in the mid of that, once Justin Trudeau has released the statement that accusing India for killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, all of a sudden these pro-Khalistani elements have started releasing the statements to all the Hindu community members who were in Canada, who were the Canadians, that leave Canada or face the brunt. These kind of threats has been received by the Hindu community in Canada. And Justin Trudeau's own party parliamentarian Chandra Arya has questioned that why Canada is tolerating the glorification of the terrorism, why Canada is tolerating the hate speeches of these terrorists who are creating trouble among the society, why Canada is tolerating such kind of threats to the Hindu community. And in fact, Chandra Arya is the MP from Liberal Party, from the same party to which Justin Trudeau belongs to. So questions are arising not outside but inside the Canada as well. Certain organizations are writing to Justin Trudeau, facing the threats from these pro-Khalistani elements. Indian government has written to Canada again, providing the list of these hardliners and the separatists and terrorists and the gangsters who were operating from the Canadian soil. And in fact, Canada is all trying to seek the support from the other countries that they condemn the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Hardeep Singh Nijjar was killed on June 18 outside the Gurdwara in Surrey. But who killed him? If the Canada is having certain kind of allegations, why don't they put out and come out with the evidence regarding to prove their allegations? Why they are not coming up? Just India is providing all kind of evidence and the proofs to the Canadian government that these are the hardliners. They are sitting in Canada. They carried out the terrorist activities, and the result is several people are suffering in Punjab, in India itself. But this is creating a lot of difference. Why Justin Trudeau is doing that? Well, if we just go about the vote bank, if we just talk about the vote bank, is that Justin Trudeau is trying to cater the vote of the Sikh community in Canada. Around 3% people, Canadian people, basically belongs to India. And out of that, 2% are Sikhs. And even not all 2% are in the support of Khalistan. Around 1% people who are from the Sikh community, they are supporting or they are backing these pro-Khalistani elements. So just to cater the support of that people, Justin Trudeau has given the statement. Is this the fact why he's not coming out and proving his allegations with the piece of evidence and provide it to India or other countries that they are having the evidence, and that is the reason the accusation being held against the against India for the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. So there is a lot of difference. Why is this? Is Justin Trudeau under so much pressure of his own parliamentarians, of his own party, or the support from these people who were actually providing all kind of support and financial support and the manpower support to Justin Trudeau and his party? But why it all happened? It is just creating the unrest and tension among India and Canada. And Swesha, there is a lot of people who are having their relatives in Canada, and in fact, both sides, they are having their families in both sides, in India and even in Canada. If the tension is escalating, that means they are trying to create the trouble to the Indians finally. Indians would be the sufferers finally. And in fact, Justin Trudeau, who's a Canadian Prime Minister, to whom all the Indian community had voted, he has to think about the point that the final sufferers would be India. These elements are running their own agenda for their own motive, with their own support,
Right.
but they are nothing to
Right.
do with the Canada. They are nothing to do with the India. Their agenda is very much clear that they wanted to create the Khalistan either that way or this way. Yes, Swesha.
Right. And let's not forget, Amandeep, Hardeep Singh Nijjar is a true Khalistani. In fact, this was a statement that was made by Gajinder Singh, who is the Dal Khalsa leader who was responsible and one of the 5 hijackers of the Indian Airlines flight in 1981. Justin Trudeau jeopardizing Canada's diplomatic relationship with India by backing a terrorist is something that is, of course, being questioned when it comes to the diplomatic ties with India, but also the very fact that he is clearly catering to a certain vote bank and trying to save face back home, as he knows that elections in Canada are also due. Let me get Dr. S.P. Ved, who's with us on the phone line. Very good morning to you, sir. Your response on this latest development of the gangster Sukha Duneke, who has been shot dead in Canada. Punjab police also holding an ongoing operation to catch the close aides of Goldie Brar. How do you view all these developments?